Can a butler get married and have a family?
That's a question that I get asked a lot, and I'm doing quite a lot of travelling, as always, this week, so it's given me a little bit of time to think about it.
I'm just on my way back from Aberdeen on the train. I've only got a day before the next event, and last weekend represents my last weekend off of the season, but it was a good one.
I took my son to Carfest in Paisley, which was a lot of fun, while my wife and my little girl went to a party for one of my little girl's friends. I'm really into cars myself, and it's just such a joy to be able to share something with your son in that way. I also became a godfather to my lovely little nephew Louis, which was very exciting. And it was Father's Day. Yes, Alfie, I'm not forgetting you.
I've just dropped the children off at their dance class. They've got a concert tomorrow. Sadly, I'm not going to be around for it because I'll be working. At risk of sounding like Michael Bublé, which is a risk I'm not that willing to take, but I am lucky, I guess, for having a job that I love. But as with everything, it does come with a trade-off. And when it really comes to the question of, can you have a family and be a butler? The answer is yes, of course you can, but it does come with some considerable caveats. There's many kinds of butlers, and the roles that they fulfill are very, very different. And some of them, I would say it would be almost impossible to have a good family life and still be a butler. The reason that I actually quit being a private butler and started this company was because I felt like I couldn't give my full attention to... Sorry, truck just pulling in front of me. Speaking of giving my full attention, I felt that I couldn't give my full attention to my, at the time, soon-to-be-born son.
In a quarter of a mile, use the right 2 lanes to turn slightly right to stay on M8.
Because I was very well aware that my life was about to change. And that's why I set up this company. And being a butler who's also the CEO of the company that provides the butlers, I'll be honest, I do have more freedom than most butlers. Some butlers, it's almost impossible to choose when you have days off. It's almost impossible to be sure that you'll be home for anything. And that's why there's a very high proportion of butlers who are single, who don't have families, because of those challenges. Those of you who are regular viewers will definitely notice that I am not in my usual Land Rover 110 on the way to this job. That's because the front diff needs rebuilding. I mean, it's lasted since 1983, so I can't really criticize it. My friend and colleague Ryan has been very generous to lend me his Vauxhall Insignia. I think the real truth is there's two sorts of people in the world. There are the people who love to work 9 to 5. People who really relish the idea of getting up at the same time every day, finishing at the same time every day, having an hour off for lunch. I'm not one of those people. I love every day to be different. I love to have to be going to a new place every other day and meeting and solving new challenges while I'm there. That's something that I really enjoy and relish. And it's what I love about being a butler. And I just don't feel I could get the same level of job satisfaction doing any other job, really. I was reading about a study they did a few years ago, and I was genuinely shocked by the results. Apparently in the UK, only 17% of people would say they love their job. Maybe if you're, one of the people who doesn't love your job, you're going to be less surprised at that statistic. But for me, the idea of doing a job that you didn't love just seems so crazy. I don't understand why someone would do that. There's so many jobs out there, and there's so many different opportunities to change your life. You're never stuck with one. So I guess I'm one of those very lucky 17% who loves my job. And for that reason, I am lucky, I guess. It's been Michael Bublé again, isn't it? But I do look forward to going home and, of course, spending as much time as I can with my family. I always think that the most important thing is, even if because of your work you can't spend every moment you would like to with your family, the really important thing is to make sure that every moment you spend with your family is great. So to sum up, if you're someone entering butlering now and you're worried about what's going to happen to you in the future when you want to have a family, firstly, I'm going to say don't worry, because you'll work it out when it happens. Don't worry about a hypothetical in the future. There are lots of wonderful butler roles on things like a private estate where it's nice and quiet and you're there all the time, where I genuinely can't think of a better place to have a family. Your children will almost get the lifestyle of an aristocrat, running around beautiful scenery in a beautiful private estate. The jobs where you're traveling with your client on their private jet and you're in a different country every day and you can't take your family with you, of course, that is quite a different thing, and that is much more difficult. But get your skill level up working in jobs like that. Become a really highly trained, highly respected butler, and then I feel very confident that you'll have no trouble getting one of those private estate jobs as you progress in your career. So can you have your cake and eat it? Can you be a butler and still have a nice balanced family life? Yes, you can, but it won't be easy. See you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.